Hi guys, I hope you're having a good day so far. Welcome to Quarantine Cooking with me. I'm Ilva Valverde. I'm a 5th grade bilingual language arts teacher at McGinnis School, and today I'm going to show you how to make pancakes. So welcome to my kitchen, and I'm going to show you the ingredients that you can use to make your pancakes. Now what's great about pancakes is that they're very versatile. So you can add whatever you want to it, and it'll taste delicious. So I'm gonna take you on a little tour of the things that you can add. So right here, obviously, I have my mixing bowl and I have measuring spoons. I have a 1/4 cup. So this is the flour that I'm going to be using. Honestly, I only have a little bit of flour, so this is just going to be for me. But if you want to double the recipe, of course, you can. And you probably should to make pancakes for the rest of your family members. But today, it's only going to be for me. So I use white whole wheat flour, but you can use whatever you like. I'm going to show you some things that you can add to your pancakes. So right here we have cocoa powder, some vanilla, obviously baking powder because you need that to make pancakes. By the way, before I continue, I make my pancakes from scratch because all you need is flour and baking powder. But if you don't have those ingredients at home, don't worry. You can use the Aunt Jemima pancake mix or Bisquick, I think is another one. Anyone that you have at home is what you can use. If you don't have that at home and you really want a pancake, then you can definitely use flour, harina, which I believe a lot of people have, and baking powder. Usually baking goods, most people tend to have because they have a long shelf life. So back to the ingredients. So you'll need an egg. These are some of the things that I'm gonna add to my pancake. I love coconut flake, so this one's unsweetened. Some cinnamon, and of course a little bit of sugar. Now, I am going to set my camera up here. You know, as always, you have to wash your hands when you're cooking, so I'm gonna wash my hands, and then we're gonna get started. Now, there's so many different ways that you can make pancakes. Like I said, I'm using white whole wheat flour. You can use regular flour. You can use oat flour. I eat a lot of oatmeal, so I can take the oats, ground them up, and make oat flour from it. You can use almond flour. Some people are allergic to gluten or they just want to stay away from white flour, so they'll use an alternative. So you can do that as well. So I washed my hands. I know it's supposed to be 30 seconds. I know. It was less than 30 seconds if anybody was counting me. All right, so I'm gonna put you over here now so you can see what I'm doing. Hopefully you'll be able to see what I'm doing. So I'm gonna take the whole wheat flour and the white whole wheat flour, but like I said, if you're not making them from scratch, you can definitely use, this is a little bit wet, sorry. You can definitely use the Aunt Jemima mix or whatever other pancake mix. I'm not promoting Aunt Jemima, that's the one that I grew up on. So this recipe is really only for one person, depending on how big or how small you make your pancake. I tend to make, this is a 1/4 cup. This is a 1/4 cup. Usually, there's a recipe that I'll link up to that I absolutely love to make pancakes. I'll link it up, but usually I make like enough pancakes. Probably I use a cup of flour, so that usually tends to make 6 to 8 pancakes. So this one will make maybe 2 small ones or 1 huge one. So I'm just gonna add the rest of it. So it's a little bit more than a 1/4 cup. Just a tiny bit more than a 1/4 cup because now I've got no more. I have to go buy some flour. All right, so to that, I'm going to add a teaspoon of baking powder. Baking powder makes it rise. So I will add a teaspoon. This is a 1/2 teaspoon. I lost my teaspoon. I have no idea where it is. So I'm putting a teaspoon of that. That's what's gonna make it rise. Some people like to put salt in their pancakes. I'm not a big fan of putting salt in my pancakes. I have a very good friend who's a chef, and he's like, you have to put salt. You have to use baking soda too. I honestly don't do that. When you buy the mix, it has everything included, but Oh, sorry, I was trying to fix my hair, but you know, I made it worse. Whatever. Anyway, so I don't add those things, but I know that the pancake mix has everything in it. Okay, so I like to add some cinnamon. I kind of go crazy with the cinnamon. I love, love, love the taste of cinnamon. Also, I like to add some vanilla. I'm not the kind of person that like separates my wet ingredients from my dry ingredients. I know when it comes to bacon, you definitely have to, but when it comes to this, I really just kind of, and I kind of eyeball it. So for those of you that are like, what the heck is she talking about? Just, you know, you can use a measuring spoon. Again, this is a half a teaspoon, and just measure with a half a teaspoon. I eyeballed it and it was about a half a teaspoon. I added a little bit more, so now it's a little bit more. Okay, so the next thing is sugar. I don't have white sugar. I have brown sugar. But again, if you're making these from scratch, you know, you want to add a little bit of sugar as well. I'm going to do a tablespoon of sugar. And the reason that I don't put a lot of sugar in it is because usually people put syrup on top of their pancakes. I'm going to be honest, I don't ever put syrup on my pancakes. I end up putting, you know, agave syrup, which is, it's still sugar. It's just, it doesn't have all the artificial ingredients that pancake syrup has. And I'm not knocking it because I do like it. But that's just my preference. Okay, so I'm going to crack an egg in it. Now, I don't remember, because I haven't used a pancake mix in such a long time. Let me go wash my hands, because, you know, when you're working with raw eggs for a minute, you have to wash your hands. I don't remember if you have to add eggs to the pancake mix, honestly. So maybe someone can let me know if you have to add an egg to the pancake mix. It might just be add water. I'm not sure. So now the milk. Now I'm going to walk you over here. And I'm going to show you. So, honestly, I don't drink cow's milk. This is what I use. I've been loving it. Non-dairy oat beverage. It's really, really delicious. And also, my daughter and I mostly drink almond milk. So, again, because I'm making these from scratch, I'm using what I use. But if you are using the box, I don't think you have to add milk to it. I could be wrong. It might just be water. But if you want to make them from scratch, you can definitely use cow milk. I mean, that's why I said pancakes are so versatile. So I'm going to add about a cup of, let me get my measuring cup. I'm going to add about a cup of milk. This is a third of a cup. Aha, here's my cup. So I'm going to add about a cup. I do have measuring cups, but like I said before, usually I tend to eyeball it. Some people like their pancakes a little bit thinner. I like them a little bit thicker. So I'm going to add about a cup of this. Now, some pancakes from scratch ask for butter, melted butter. I honestly don't add melted butter to my pancake mix. And honestly, what I really use instead of butter is coconut oil. So you can melt some coconut oil and throw it in the mix, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to melt a little bit of coconut oil. I'm going to throw it in the mix, and I'm actually going to use coconut oil to make my pancakes. Please feel free to use butter. You know, I like butter, I eat butter, but I try during the week not to. So on the weekend is when I'll indulge and have butter. Another thing that I really truly enjoy, not vegan or vegetarian, but I do try to eat vegan vegetarian meals during the week. So I do enjoy this type of butter, Miyoko's cultured vegan butter. It's super, super delicious and super creamy. So this is something else that I will use when I make pancakes. Not today. Normally this is just for me because my daughter's allergic to cashews. She's not allergic to almonds, but she's allergic to cashews. Go figure. So I'm going to add a little bit of coconut oil so I can melt it. And then I'm going to add it to my mixture. And I'll show you what it looks like. So it calls for about a tablespoon of butter. So I have the measuring spoon is right here. I have the measuring spoon right here. So this is about a tablespoon, right? So I can measure it out like this. Honestly, I do a little bit more. So I'm going to, I do like 2 tablespoons. I don't know. I just think it gives it a better flavor. So, and I don't own a microwave, so I'm gonna move you over here, guys, so you can see. I'm just heating it up in a frying pan, and then I'll just add it to my mixture. So, oh my gosh, I'm already at 10 minutes. And I still haven't even showed you the pancake. So I'm gonna add this to my mixture. You hear it sizzle because it's so hot. And I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I'm actually going to use coconut oil to make my pancakes. Now, I am going to mix my pancakes. And to be honest with you, I just use a fork. I just use a fork and I mix until it's all combined, and I'll show you what it looks like afterwards. And by the way, you can use this batter to make waffles if you have a waffle maker. That's perfectly fine. It's, like I said, it's so versatile. You can add whatever you like, whatever ingredients you enjoy. I love coconut, so I'll add a coconut to mine. And I also like walnuts, so I'll probably do walnut coconut. And if I had like fresh bananas, I would add that. And I went to the market yesterday and I didn't buy bananas, so I couldn't add it to this. So to be honest with you, I added a little too much milk. I'm gonna show it to you because I didn't have enough flour, but that's okay. You improvise. So they'll just be a little bit on the thin side, probably. Not as thick as I wanted it, but that's okay. And have a look. This is what it looks like. So it should be thicker than this. For sure, it should be thicker than this. And if you see those little lumps, a little bit of the coconut oil was not fully heated. So those little clumps are bits of coconut oil when it hit the cold mixture, because the milk is cold. It's solidified. So now I am going to heat up my pan. Oh, my pan is already on. Good. I forgot to shut it off completely. Let me move this milk, and I'm going to show you what it'll look like. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of coconut oil in there. You know, you can add a teaspoon or 2 or 3. Honestly, again, I eyeball it. I'm not sure what you guys use at home. I'm assuming you use butter. Like I said, I try not to use butter during the week, but if I did have butter, you know, and my daughter wanted some with butter, then I would use butter. But again, you know, maybe a tablespoon, maybe less. I had a cousin who made the best pancakes and she used a lot of butter. Let me wash my hands really quickly. And then I will add the pancake. And again, I should have added less milk. I will link up the recipe. Follow the recipe so you don't mess it up. I'm not saying I completely messed it up. I've done this before where I'm like, oh, I don't have enough flour. Now, at this point, honestly, I would probably just take some oats and then I would grind them up in my grinder, and then I would just make oat flour and add it to this flour, and it would be delicious. So now I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna add it. Make sure that the pan is nice and hot. Children, please, 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 please do not do this on your own. You definitely need parent supervision. I have a 6-year-old. I would never let her use the stove on her own. Okay, so now let me show you. I just used the 1/4 cup of measuring cup to make the pancake. So this is what it's looking like. It's very thin. Again, it needed more flour. So these are going to be very thin. And sometimes cooking is hit or miss, to be honest with you. So I'm going to let it cook for a little bit, and then I'm going to show you some of the things that you can do to the pancake after it's done. If you wanted to add some walnuts, you could add walnuts. You can also add, I think I showed you coconut flakes if you wanted to. You know, I have a little bit of everything here. I haven't tried dried bananas. I probably wouldn't. I'm not sure how that would taste. You know, a little bit of chia seeds, you know, for more protein, more good fats. Hemp seeds as well. A little bit of pumpkin seeds. I mean, you can, like I said, you can add anything. So also what you could add, fruit, definitely. Raspberries. I'm probably not gonna add anything to this one. This is the tester. And then you can also add blueberries, and I have strawberries in the fridge too. I'll probably end up, when I make more, I'll end up adding some strawberries. Also whipped cream. So normally people eat pancakes with syrup, but if you want to add anything, like maybe you just want to make them plain and then add fruit to the top, you know, slice something up and then use some whipped cream. So, you know, you can use regular whipped cream. Also, since I like to do coconut whipped cream, so I like to do non-dairy whenever possible. Okay, so this is what my pancake is looking like. See where their little bubbles are? It's probably been like 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes. So when you see all these bubbles is when you're ready. You get your spatula. Okay, get your spatula and check it. You see, guys? I feel like it's pretty good. So I'm gonna be ready. I'm not the best flipper, okay? I'm not the best flipper. And I'm also not the best camera woman. So I'm gonna try and like flip it while I have you. Oh, kind of messed it up, but it's okay. Look at that. Looks pretty good, huh? Now, I'm going to be honest with you, this pancake's not going to be super sweet. There are times where I add more sugar. Like I said, I eyeball it. It smells delicious in here, coconutty. So I hope this helps. I hope you enjoyed my little demonstration on how to make a pancake. Again, this will be done in like 30 seconds, and then I will add some raspberries to it, sliced strawberries, a little bit of whipped cream, and there you go. So enjoy. Bye, guys.